Hi everyone, welcome back to new video. So in this video we'll learn how we can able to update any data in your database. So we'll see how we can able to update suppose any kind of data or suppose any information or any mail ID, phone number, how we can able to update each and everything through a Spring Boot application and MySQL. So we'll understand in a very easy way. Alright. First, what we need is we need to set up a project in our Eclipse IDE. Okay, so here for the project, for Spring Boot project, I'm using Eclipse IDE, and also for the database, I'm using MySQL Workbench. Okay, so I'll show you step by step how we can able to achieve this. Alright, so first and foremost thing, what we have to do is we need to set up the project in your Eclipse IDE. So first, what you do is just open your Chrome browser or any of your favorite browser and go for start.spring.io, or you can directly type something called spring. Okay, spring initializer. So you'll get the first link over here. So when you click on that link, so this kind of dashboard or this kind of website you're gonna see. So here you need to give your project information, everything. Okay, so as of now I'll keep my project information as, let's say, I need to insert a data. Okay, or I need to get a data, or I need to delete data, whatever it is. So we need to have an example, right? So we'll take an example of an employee. So we'll store, or let's say, we'll keep it as employee itself. So we'll store the employee data, we'll get the employee data, we'll update the employee data, everything. First we need to set up the project, right? So I'll mention this group name as, okay, let's say com.employee, com.employee, employee, okay, com.employee. So project name, okay, project name I'll give as mighty. Okay, mighty, mighty, our channel name, so mighty. So description I'll keep it same thing, and here the package name I'll mention as com.employee. I don't want mighty, so I'll just keep as com.employee. Alright, so let this be jar, or you can select the var as well, and here I'm selecting the version 8. Okay, so we need some dependencies. Okay, so when you want to perform current operation on your DB, means you need certain dependencies. Okay, so we'll add one by one. All right, so first dependence will be like this. So first, let's say Spring Web. Okay, Spring Web is the first one, and second one, let's say JPA. Okay, Spring Data JPA SQL, as you can see, preset data in SQL stores with Java persistence API using Spring Data and Hibernate. So JPA, and one more thing you need, MySQL driver. Okay, MySQL driver is required, and let's say what else we need is, I'll also include Spring Boot Dev Tools. So I tell you what are my this Dev Tools as well. Okay, so I select this one. Alright, so I think this much is good. Let me check whether I have imported everything. Okay, yeah. So I have imported what all the dependencies are required to achieve this project or achieve this example. Okay, so very simple thing. Now click on generate. Okay, a zip file will be downloaded. Okay, that we need to extract it, and then we need to import that project in our Eclipse IDE. So as you can see here, a zip file came over here. I just click on save over here. Alright, so here you can able to see the zip. So let me extract this files, or extract the zip file. Okay, like this. So just right button, extract files, and click on OK. So here you can able to see a mighty folder is there. Is a project name is mighty. Okay, so I'm going to close this, and also I minimize the browser as well. Okay, so now I am in my Eclipse IDE. Okay, so you need to import your project over here. So let's click a right button in the package explorer, or you can able to go for file as well. So just directly click on right button over here. Okay, this is going to open option to import. Okay, just click on import. Alright, so import, probably you won't getting like this. Suppose if you are using for the first time, just if you don't see this Maven, search Maven like this. Okay, so it will be like this. So expand this and click on existing Maven projects. Alright, so select this, click on next, and here you need to browse your that mighty zip folder which I have just extracted, right? So click on browse, and in my case it's been extracted in download section. So this is our mighty folder. I'm gonna select this and click on select folder, and this pom.xml has to come. And by the way, I have already explained in my previous videos as well, pom.xml is like a heart of your project. Okay, yes, so make sure it is checked and click on finish. So this will take some time to import. As you can see at the bottom right side over here, the import of this project has been started. So let's this get imported. In the meantime, we'll go and we'll create a database. Okay, we'll create a database and we'll create a table. Alright, so let's get redirected to our MySQL workbench. By the way, suppose if you didn't install MySQL workbench and also Eclipse IDE in your system, means I have given the download and installation link in the description as well, so you can go and check both that. Alright, so let's create a new database. So let me check whether I have any employee database. Already I have an employee database. So first let me delete this employee database. Okay, so it's very simple. Just remember, okay, delete database. What's my database? Actually it was already existent, so I'm going to delete that, and next I'm going to create it new. Okay, data. Okay, so okay, we should not use a delete, it's drop. Yeah, drop database employee. Okay, so the statement has been executed. Alright, so as you can see at the left hand side, you cannot able to see that employee DB is there. Okay, so let's create a database first. Okay, so you can able to write it through query, or you can use the UI as well. So just let's write a query. Okay, so create, okay, create create database and give a database name. So as of now, employee is a database name. Okay, just give a comma and run this statement. So our database will be created over here at the left side. Okay, so if you cannot able to see this, means just click a right button over here and click on refresh all. Alright, so now you can able to see your employee DB. So just click a right button and make this as default. Alright, so now we have created our database. So let's create a table. Okay, just click a right button, create table. Alright, so with the UI only we'll just create our entire table. Alright, so let's do it quickly. So this will take a few more seconds to load it. So here it's been loaded, and I'll keep my table name as employee data. Okay, employee, or let me give in a lowercase, employee underscore data is my table name. Alright, so let's give one by one value. So first I'll give employee name. Okay, let's say employee name. Alright, so employee name, it is, since it's a character, I'll make sure it is varchar, and I'll remove this as well, it's not required as of now. Okay, yes, so int not null, yes, fine. So employee name and this is varchar. So let me keep it as varchar and give a size of 45. Alright, so next let's say employee mail ID. Okay, we're just taking an example, right? So employee mail ID, it's also of type varchar, and contact number, so I'll keep it as number. Okay, so number I'll mention it as int. Okay, alright, so name is done, mail ID is done, number is done. So what else? Let's say state. Okay, let's take state. From which state the employee is, and what else we can able to add over here? Employee name, mail ID, and number, state, and what else we can able to add? Let's say shall we include country? Country is not required. So job role. Okay, let's keep it as job role. Alright, so job role, what kind of job is doing. Alright, so this much is enough as of now. So we're gonna perform all the correct operation for this. Okay, alright, so let's just click on apply and click on apply again and click on finish. So your table will be created. Let me close all of this. If you refresh over here at the table over here, if you expand this, you can able to see your employee data table. So now we have successfully created a table. Alright, so now we'll go to our Eclipse ID again. We'll check whether our project has been imported. Yes, our project has been imported successfully. So here you can able to see mighty project. So expand that. Alright, so expand this as well. So here you can able to see a package which is named com.employee. So in this particular package itself there will be a mighty application.java. So this is the main file. So through this file only our application is going to start. The reason, so this file has a main function, okay, and it is running Spring Boot application dot or Spring application dot run. Alright, so very simple, it's the main function or main function file. Alright, so first what we have to do means you need to create few packages. Okay, so now what you want to do is just select this source main Java, just click a right button and make sure you need to follow the package name in a group way. So new, click on package. Okay, so package name, let's say you need to follow this package name itself. So com dot employee dot controller. So controller is where you're gonna create all your APIs. So just click on finish. So a new package has been created. Okay, so let's create 1 2 3 4 3 more or 4 more packages. So I'll tell you why we need to do everything. So let's create one more package over here, com dot employee dot, let's say service finish. Okay, so one more package, new and package com dot employee dot service IMPL. Service IMPL means service implementation. So click on finish, and the last package will be util, db util, where we're gonna give the db connection file or connection, giving connection for your database. So let's say com dot employee dot, let's say db util. Okay, db util. Alright, so we have created all 5 packages or all extra 4 packages. Alright, so before getting into this, just expand this source main resource. Okay, so open this file, application.properties. Alright, so open this. Alright, so now what you have to do means, I'll just give you this code, just paste this code directly over here. Okay, so just no need to get confused over here. What it is means, to give a application means mentioning your database connection directly through application.properties. Okay, so this will, or this project directly will connect to your database over here. So if you observe over here, the URL, this is the driver, your name, and the username of your MySQL and the password of your MySQL workbench. Okay, and it's not required to remember this as well. Reason, this you can able to type directly in the internet that what is the db connection or application.properties file for connectioning of your Spring Boot application to MySQL workbench. You can directly get this information, so no need to remember this. Alright, so there is one more changes where at the URL position you need to mention your database name. So what's your database name? It's your database name was employee, right? So let's type it as employee. Okay, so I hope it is clear, and just click on save. Alright, so now we'll give a DB connection to our database and then we'll run our application whether it is working fine or not. Alright, so just click here we have DB util, just create a new file in DB util. Alright, so just click a right button, go for new and go for class. Alright, so here we have name. So I'll mention as let's say, let's just keep it as db util itself, db util. Okay, and click on finish. A new class has been created inside com.employee.db util. Alright, so we'll give the connection one by one. So concentrate everyone. So private. So every time connection has to be private. Alright, so private connection. This is a connection and the object of connection is connection in a smaller case or lower case. So first I'll keep my connection as null. Alright, and also I'll keeping my connection as static. So why I'm keeping as static? Because the connection always will be same. It is not going to change all the time, right? So that's why I'm keeping the connection as static. And here you'll get an error, so that you need to import this. So just hold your mouse over there and click on import connection, which is from java.sql. Alright, just select this one. Alright, so connection has been imported. Alright, so let's write a method. Okay, let's write a method over here. Okay, public this method is going to return a connection. So public static connection get connection is the method name which I am giving for this. Alright, so here you are getting an error because you are returning connection, so you need to return the connection over here. Alright, so return connection and give a semicolon. So actually it is returning directly, so we need to give a direct connection to our database. Okay, so let's say now understand carefully. If connection is not equal to null. Okay, if the connection is not equal to null means, if the connection is not null means connection if already exists means you can directly return the connection. Okay, if the connection is already exists means you can directly return the connection. If suppose connection is not established, so else, so let's give a connection. Okay, so now carefully try to understand this. String, okay, so driver is equal to, so this is the actual driver which you can able to get directly from the internet as well. So instead of going to internet, so here we have already included the driver over here, right? So okay, wait, we have included username and password, so driver we need to give directly over here. So this is our driver. So let's say com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. Okay, driver, and give a comma, semicolon. Alright, so next string URL, okay, is equal to, in double quotes, here I have already mentioned the URL, so I'll just copy this directly, okay, and I'm gonna paste it inside this. And also I'm adding few more things, that question mark use SSL means a security, a little bit security, so that I'm mentioning as false. Okay, is equal to semicolon. Alright, so next thing, so next string user is equal to, by default this will be root. Okay, and let's give a password. String password is equal to, so my MySQL workbench password is 123456789. Make sure which password you give, you need to enter that password. Okay, don't enter 129. Alright, yes. So now observe over here, I am trying to give the connection, it will throw an error. I will show you. So class dot for name, okay, class dot for name, inside this give your driver. So now you can able to see like this. Okay, so now we are going to give a connection over here. See, before trying to give a connection, it's already throwing an error, because since, see, DB normally won't throw an error, it is going to throw the exceptions, or database exceptions, or MySQL exceptions. So we need to handle those exceptions. So how to handle those exceptions? So we need to enclose this entire thing in a try catch block. So just hover your mouse and it shows add throw declaration or surround with try catch. So let's surround with try catch. Okay, done. So I'll remove this extra comments as well. So class for name driver. So here I'm going to give or establish the connection over here. So connection which is null for the first time. So connection is equal to, let's say, driver manager dot get connection. So you need to pass few arguments. First one will be URL, second one will be user, and third one will be password. Right? So at the end give a semicolon. Alright, so let's see. Again you'll get an error because this is throwing an exception of type class not found exception. So when you are giving connection to your database, means it has to throw one more kind of exception which is called SQL exception. So that also we need to add it. So just hover your mouse over here and add a throw declaration, or you can able to surround it with try catch again. So instead of doing that, I'll just click on add throw declaration. That will be added to our function directly. So as you can see here, you can able to see throw SQL exception as well. This has to be handled. Okay, so now let's save everything and just run this application whether the connection is getting established or not. Okay, or if we getting any error, we'll try to solve that. So just run this application and click on Java application and click on OK. So at the console your application will get started within few seconds. So we'll wait that until this gets started and we'll see whether if we get any errors or not. If we get error, we'll try to solve that. Okay, so here you need to select your application. So in my case, if the application name is mighty.application, I believe, yeah, mighty application. Okay, com.employee. Just click on OK. In the console, the execution or running of your project will get started. Okay, so as you can see in the console, it started over here. It started from Spring. Okay, so your application getting started one by one. It will take a couple of seconds, or yeah, couple of seconds. It won't take much time. And yes, application almost started, and you can able to see Tomcat initialized with the port number 8080. Means your application has been started with the port number 8080, and you can see at the last started mighty application in this many seconds. Means when it took 24 seconds. Alright, so now we have directly gave the connection to our database and we don't have any errors or any exceptions as well. So our application is working perfectly. Alright. So now everything is set and we have left out one more thing that I have forgot actually. So we need to create a one more package called com.employee. So just select source main Java, just click a right button, go for new and go for a new package work here. So let's say com.employee.model. Alright. So this model is going to reflect your DB. Suppose if you want to get some data from merging two tables, means here only you should define the model. To perform any CRUD operation which you are getting any data or inserting any data into a database, that every model has to be created in this particular package. So we'll understand one by one. So just click a right button over here, go for new and go for a class. So just create a new model called employee. So just click on finish. So what are the variables which you have defined in your DB, so in your database table, so that you need to type it over here. So we have mentioned in the table attribute as employee name for the first time, employee name. Second, we had string mail ID as well, so give a space over here, mail ID. So next we had int number over here. So next we have string, so we have given as state and also we have gave string job role as well, so job role semicolon like this. So now you need to add all the getters and setters, to string, and also to constructor, parameterized constructor and the default constructor as well. So just click a right button over here and go for source and go for generate getters and setter. Just select this and click on select all and generate. Alright, first step is done. Just click a right button, go for source again, go for constructor using fields and generate. And one constructor is done, which is the parameterized constructor. So next we need one more constructor, which is superclass constructor, or which is our default constructor. Go for source, generate constructors from superclass. So generate it and click on generate. And the last we have source generate toString. That's all. Alright. So now click on generate. So now every setup. So now we'll see how we can able to update a data in your database. So for example, I'll go to my database over here. As you can see, now we have Shinchan, Nobita and Tommy. So assume that the mail ID of Shinchan is wrong, and assume that Nobita's number is wrong, and assume that the job role of Tommy is wrong. Okay, so we can able to update it based on few queries. So now as of now, what we'll do is we'll update this information over here. Okay, so now what you can do is go to your code again. Okay, so here just go to your employee service, go for your employee service. So whatever the method which you need to perform in your application, that you need to define over here. So let's say like this. So public, I'm not going to return anything, so I'll mention as void. So update employee, so update employee. So inside this I'm not passing particular name, particular number, mail ID, everything. So I'll be passing the entire object again. So let's say employee. Okay, employee, what is this employee? So here we have a model, right? So that employee object is this. So give a semicolon at the end. Now that will be good. Clear? So now go to your com.employee.service impl. So here you need to create a new file called employee service implementation. So as you can see over here, we have defined a method, but we have not written over here. As you can see, we have a semicolon, but not the flower braces, correct? So let's say employee service impl, just click on finish. So now a file has been created. So first we need to call the connection. Before that we need to annotate this particular method as service. So service, right? Cool. So now next, so we need to call the connection. So connection I'll mention as connection semicolon. So I'll make this connection as import over here. So connection is an object. So I am going to include a constructor. The reason to include a constructor, because whenever this file is getting called, the connection has to be called automatically. So for that reason I am going to write the constructor over here like this. Okay, so let's say connection means this connection is equal to dbutil. So here we have our connection, right? So dbutil dot get connection and give a semicolon. That's all. So here you are getting an error because SQL handle only exception, not the error. So we need to handle this with add throw declaration, and then we are good. Okay. So yes. So now we need to implement this particular method over here. So for that, what we do is just write something like this. Implements what's our service name? Employee service. So what are the method which you have defined in the employee service, that will be imported over here like this. So here you'll get an error. So hover your mouse over there and select add unimplemented methods. So you will get your override method. So here you have flower braces to write a code. Clear? Yes. So now we'll see how we can able to update. Okay, how we can able to update. So let's say, so here we are passing an object, right? So whatever the updated value which we are sending, so we need to take everything and we need to run a query. Okay, so now we know in this particular object we have all the data. So I'll just fetch all the data first. So first one, obviously it will be a string employee name. Employee name is equal to employee dot get employee name. That's all. Clear? So next one we had string a mail ID of an employee. So mail ID is equal to employee dot get mail ID. Clear? So next we had an int number, employee number is equal to employee dot get number. Cool. So next we have employee, what we had employee state, correct? Employee state is equal to employee dot get state. Done. And the last one is string, what was it? It's a job role of an employee. So job role is equal to employee dot get employee dot get job role and give us semicolon. So now what is this? Okay, yeah, from this particular object I have fetched all the values and stored in a variables. Okay, so we'll write a query to update. So let's say string update query is equal to update. Okay, I should include in the double quotes like this. So update, what's our table name? Employee data. So employee underscore data like this, and set first one will be employee name, correct? So set employee name is equal to, we need to take this variable now. So since it is a string, wait, first I'll give a semicolon over here at the end. Okay, so since it is a string, it has to be single quotes, double quotes, plus, okay, I'll mention as double quotes close, single quotes close. Between this I'll mention this employee name like this, clear, and give a comma. Cool. So now again, next what we have after employee name, we have this one, mail ID. So mail ID is equal to single, okay, is equal to single quotes, open single quotes, close, open double quotes, close double quotes, close single quotes. In between I mentioned as mail ID. This is the variable, this is the value or the attributes name which is there in our DB, to not get confusion. Okay, mail ID, number, state, job role. Okay, so here we are getting an error. So what is that error? Okay, let me check once. So employee, okay, here we need to give a plus, so then we are good. So but still we are getting an error over here. So let me check what is it. So this is close over here. Okay, so after that I gave a comma and like this. Okay, no problem, we'll continue, and if you get error further we'll try to solve it. So comma over here. Next, I'll just click on enter so that I can write it in a new line. So it will be a number is equal to, so number, it's a string, so that's why I'll mention open double quotes plus number plus close double quotes, clear, like this. So give a comma again. So after number we have what we have state is equal to open single quotes, close double quotes, close double quotes, close single quotes plus state and plus, and give a comma again. So next we have what we have the job role. So let's say job role is equal to open single quotes, close double quotes, close double quotes, close single quotes, here mention as job role, and give a plus over here, clear, and the end give a semicolon. So now still we have an error over here. Let me check. So it's very simple, I have not mentioned the plus over here, for that reason it was an error. So now we are good to go. Okay, employee ID, okay, mail ID, MA, okay, spelling mistake, so mail ID, then we are good. So we are good with our query now, clear? Yes. So now we'll execute this query. So let's say prepared statement stmt is the object which I am creating for a prepared statement, is equal to, so from the connection, so connection dot get connection dot prepare statement. So inside this I have passed the query which is update query over here, clear. So now it is throwing an error because since it is connected out to our database will throw an exception, not the error. So we need to handle with surround try catch block. So remove this extra comment. Alright, so now let's execute this query. So let's say stmt dot execute update and give a semicolon at the end. So now everything is good. So let's print a statement over here like updated successfully and give a semicolon at the end, and then we are good. So now to call this particular method we need a controller, right? So first we need to create a controller over here. Okay, so here we have a package called com.employee.controller. Just click a right button over here, go for new, and go for a new class. So let's write a employee controller. Just click on finish. So now we have created an employee controller file. So how our Spring Boot is going to understand whether it is a controller or not? So we need to annotate this as a controller. Okay, let's say like this. So REST controller, finish. Clear? So now let's write a method over here. Let's write a method and create an API for this. So public, I don't want to return anything, so that's why I mentioned as void. Clear? So void update employee, so inside this request body, so here means this is where you're going to send the object. So employee, clear? So now you need to import these two as well, so let's import these two. Okay, so let's hover your mouse over here. First import request body, so then you import the employee. Clear? So now to call the method in the employee service, we need this, we need to create an object for this. So write something like this: private employee service, employee service, give a semicolon. So now we need to annotate this as a auto wire. Okay, auto wire. Okay, so this is going to achieve our dependency injection. So let's import this employee service as well. So using this employee service dot get. Okay, so what we have update employee method, so like this, and give a semicolon. So now let's try to understand a little bit. Wait, first we'll create an API over here. Okay, so at put mapping, so value is equal to update customer, or let's say update employee. So import this put mapping as well. Clear? So now we'll understand one by one. So whenever this slash update employee is getting called, so whatever the value which we are going to change, that will come over here. It will be our entire value will be contained on object. So our object is going to store all the data. So that employee object we are sending in the employee for update employee. So when it comes to the update employee over here, again that will come over here. So based on the object, we are going to fetch each and every name and we'll store it in a variable. So then we are going to execute the query and our update is going to be processed successfully. Clear? So now we'll select this and we'll run this application first. So now what you can do, go to your Postman. So I'll send you the, or I'll give you the link how you can able to download and install the Postman in your system. So here I have one sample text over here. Okay, I have a sample text. Okay, so I need to check whether I have Tommy in my case or not. So I'll go to my Eclipse MySQL workbench. I have Tommy. So I observe over here the Tommy mail ID is tom@mail.com, correct? So same way here I have tom@mail.com. So I'll update this. Before that I need to set this endpoint. So first one, go to your code again. So here we have our controller. So this is our API name. So copy this, go to your Postman again. Instead of delete Shizuka which I had earlier, so paste it over here, localhost 8080/update employee. So I'll change this Tommy mail ID to tommy@gmail.com. Before it was Tom, now I changed to Tommy Gmail. So now you need to select this as put means update. Now click on send. If we get any error, we need to solve that error first. Okay, I'll go to my Eclipse ID. So I didn't get any error as of now. So update, it shows successfully. To cross check this, we need to go to our workbench. We'll run select star from employee data. So now is, as you can see, okay, this has been updated for everything. Okay, this has been updated for everything. So now as you can see, mail ID and everything has been changed. So now we need to check why this has happened. It happened for every employee, correct? So for that, what we need to do, we need to check whether we have done everything. So because it was not an unique number, so that's the reason. So let's say yes, we have not mentioned the condition over here. Okay, we have not mentioned the condition for which particular user, correct? So now we need to change the query over here. So what I'll do here, I have a method, so I'll make this as a rollback. rollback so that I can able to get my data. Clear? I got my data like this. Okay, the data has not been updated. See, now we have made a mistake, so we'll try to update this itself. That would be very nice, right? Okay, so now based on the name we need to update. So let's say go to your code again, employee service IMPL. So here just remove this particular line, okay, and remove the comma as well here. So here we'll give a condition, okay, we here will give a condition where based on employee name. So employee is equal to open single quotes, double quotes plus employee plus close double quotes, close single quotes, and done. So now we have gave a condition as where employee name. So whichever the name you gave, the based on name it is going to update. Clear? So we'll cross check again. Stop your application again and rerun your application. So it is going to work for you. Clear? So my application got started work here. So I'll go to my Postman again. This time we have a Tommy, right? So okay, when I give Tommy means it is going to update for everything again because only Tommy data is there over here. So to do this means I'll update one sample data over here. Let's say insert into employee data. So I'll enter some values. Let's say Doraemon, comma Doraemon at mail.com. Next number, random number over here. So state I'll make it as Karnataka and job role manager. Clear? So like this, if I run this state, okay, data values. So now run this. So if you run select star from, you can able to see Doraemon data has been inserted. So I'll change this as Shizuka. So now again one more data has been inserted which is Shizuka. So we have Tommy 3, Doraemon 1, Shizuka 1. So now we'll change, see, Shizuka mail ID has as Doraemon, correct? So we'll change this Doraemon mail ID for Shizuka. So go to your code again and this you change it to Shizuka, clear? So change the mail ID, I will make the mail ID as Shizuka. Now based on name it is updating. So I'll update the number as 1111 and I'll make it as Bengaluru, okay? So team leader, yeah, fine. So now see this entire thing is a values will be connected into an object. So that object will come over here in the controller. This point that object is sent over here. So what are the values which you gave over here? Okay, this you gave over here, that you are fetching and storing in a variable. So then you are updating. That's all. Simple. So let's run this again. Run this. So Shizuka mail ID, number and state has to be changed. So go to your database again. Run select star from employee data. So now you can able to see. Okay. So Shizuka data has not been updated. So I'm going to check why. So go to your Eclipse ID again. So it shows updated successful. So but why? What is the reason? So reason is Shizuka. But okay, let me run select star from employee data again. So it's not been updated. But why? So it's showing as updated, but we didn't get any error as of now. So job role, it has to be team leader, everything looks good, but still it's not been updated. Okay, so we'll cross check everything. So update employee data, correct? Employee data, set mail ID, okay, and the number and the state and the job role where employee name is. So which are the name you give? Okay, here there is a mistake. So I need to mention as employee name. I have mentioned as employee. So change this employee name. Stop your application. Select your application. Rerun your application again. So that is going to fix your issue. So now we'll run the same request. So we'll wait for this application get started. Okay. So after it is done, we'll run this request and then we'll check whether the mail ID and the phone number and the state has been updated or not. Okay, so now I think everything looks good as of now, I believe. So application, yes, application start completed. So I'll go to my Postman. So I'll click on send request. Okay, so now, okay, sending the request. Okay, cool. So now I'll go to my MySQL workbench. Let's run select star from employee data. So now you can able to see Shizuka's mail ID, number and the state and the job role as well has been updated. Clear? So this is how you can able to update based on the values. So if you want to update based on the mail ID or based on the roll number, you can able to just change this. That's all. Clear? Okay, I hope you guys understood how we can able to update our values in a table using the code of Spring Boot application. Clear? And you guys got a chance to solve the error as well. See, if you get a chance to solve the error means you're gonna learn. So that's why make error and try to learn from that. Okay, so that is a good thing of this particular video. So if you understand this video, just give a like button, and if you're new to our channel, just hit the subscribe button, and we'll meet in our next video. Until then, take care, goodbye, bye bye.